Hello, and a very good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Stand Up for Yourself, a show where I speak to my friends, my guests who have been through some experiences in their life and yet they take a stand for themselves so that they have a better future. So, today on episode 6 of Stand Up for Yourself, we are joined by my dear friend, Mr. Jeffrey Tan, who is a Pathfinder and a motivational coach. We will find out what a Pathfinder is shortly. So, welcome to the show, Jeffrey. How are you?
Hi, man. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. And wow.
Happy to
Okay,
have you here.
I'm just waiting for whatever's in store for me right now.
Awesome. By the way, I love your background. Are those your children's art? Can see
Yes,
rainbow mountains and paintings. It's so cool.
that's right. All those little cards and drawings at the bottom were done by them and sent to me for birthdays. And that
Oh,
this but whoa, hang on, where's my finger?
yeah,
This
yeah.
this particular watercolor piece of a guy, of a man and a girl, that
Uh-huh.
is my daughter's depiction of her and me.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so
That's so cute.
the picture on top, that
Uh-huh.
is a hand painting by my daughter and my son and myself while we were having some fun together.
So cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So again, once again, Jeffrey, I know that you just came out from a full day training. You were in training from 9 to 5, and yet you're still here with us. So to
Ah,
share your experience. So thank you so much. So let's get to it. All right, let's get started.
okay.
I'm sure the viewers are dying to hear about you and what you do. So why don't you begin by telling us what you do and what is a pathfinder? Ah,
Okay. Well, okay. First, I'll introduce myself as a deep pathfinder, a coach, and a trainer. All right. Uh, let me begin with the coach. The coach part is basically I coach people, transformational coaching, coach
nice.
them in terms of their work or even their personal and private lives. Yeah. And as a trainer, I do leadership workshops. I do soft skills workshops, and I've been doing that since wow. I've been doing that for 20 over years, actually.
Wow.
And I've only started doing it full time since 2014.
Well, that's still a long time ago. You've been at this for a while. Awesome.
Yes, I have been training people since I started my sales career, and yeah, it's been training people all this while. So naturally, falling in love with people development. That's how I
Yeah,
get to being a coach as well.
that
So
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, back to your question with regards to Pathfinder.
Yeah.
How did Pathfinder come about? Um, okay, number one, I love the outdoors. I love hiking. I love trekking, climbing the mountains, and going into the jungles. And what I normally do, and what I realize I do is I actually bring people into the forest, and I have this thing about remembering the trails and knowing which trail to take and so on and so forth. So I pretty much lead the trails. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, so there was one day I was in the forest walking, and a friend of mine asked me, "Hey, you call yourself a coach? Everybody else is calling themselves a coach, and everybody is calling themselves a coach nowadays. So how are you going to differentiate yourself?"
Mm-hmm.
And then and I couldn't come up with an answer for her.
Ah,
So yeah, then I said, you know what? I don't know what coach to call myself. I know a coach is to bring someone from point A to point B. That's all I know.
yeah.
That's all I can explain to you. Uh, but then I said, how do I call myself? Then I came up with this moniker, Pathfinder, because I do help people find paths as I bring them into the trails. And I
Mm-hmm.
also realize when I'm doing coaching, I'm actually helping people find their paths in life,
That's amazing.
right? Whether it's their personal development or whether it's their professional development, I help them look for paths in their lives. So then I said, "Huh, how about Pathfinder?" And she
Nice.
said, "That's great because you're the jungle guy, and Pathfinder suits you just right." So then it got stuck. That's how it came to be.
Nice. What are some of the mountains that you've climbed?
Oh, okay. Locally, my very first mountain was Gunung Angsi in Seremban, Kuala Pila.
Mhm.
And then after that, it was Nuang, Gunung Chama, and then of course, dengan hati berkobar-kobar, I went straight off to Gunung Kinabalu.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I went to Kinabalu, fell in love with that place, been up there
Wow.
3 times, and after that, that how to say, that thrill for adventure just couldn't sit with me, because once you've gone and done the tallest mountain in Southeast Asia, what else is there? So I
Yeah.
was looking for something to do, and I got pulled into going to Gunung Tahan. So
Wow.
Gunung Tahan is beautiful. It's really beautiful. Yeah, 14 days going in from Merapo in Kelantan, and then exiting in Tamanegara. So took
Wow.
us 10, 12 days or so just to get out there, and it was a lovely experience.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
after that, I had to do Nepal.
Oh God, you went to Nepal?
Yeah, I went to Nepal, Annapurna, the Annapurna circuit. It has been on my bucket list like for the longest time. Uh,
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
if you love
Awesome.
mountains, you must go there.
Okay,
It's just
I'll put that in my list. Right.
yeah.
Okay. Before we go on to talk about your program, right, a bit more, and also a bit more about your background, let's just hit the
Okay.
comment. We've got Nesric Eddie who's joining us. Says, "Hello, Jeffrey and Iman. We've been waiting for this one. Yep, a lot of people have been
Oh,
waiting for this one. So let's
that's great. Yeah.
yeah. So let's get this show on the road. Okay. So Jeffrey,
Yeah.
do tell us. You have a program, like I said, you just came out of your training program this morning, this whole day, in fact. Tell
Right.
us a bit about what you do with your programs.
Okay. I do work on corporate programs. Like I said, leadership, soft skills, and um, communications, etc. Right. However, since the pandemic started, I've
Mhm.
come up with a program called Rise, which is meant for public. Yeah,
Right.
because I I personally was well, we all were caught unawares, and it affected our income. It affected quite
Yeah.
badly.
A
A lot
lot.
of the
Yeah.
jobs were disappearing because of it. A
Yeah.
lot of projects were canceled. But I realized that, hey, you know what? I'm going through this, and I am struggling, and I face a lot of challenges.
Mhm.
But I also realized one thing, because of my training, I realized that I could actually come back up, get back up again the next day, with a fresh outlook and with fresh energy, so to speak, to take on the day.
Mhm.
And it's sometimes I think the worst point was when I had to spend the whole day uh, in in pain and in darkness, so to speak, before I could get myself out. So
Yeah.
I was asking myself, hey, for a trained person like me, it took me that much time.
Yeah.
What if someone who is not trained, and what if someone who has not gone through trainings like I have, how
Yeah.
would they deal with it? You know?
Yeah.
So I picked up on how I myself came back up to rise again from whatever pain it was,
Mhm.
and I came up with this program. Main,
Wow.
Mainly, yeah, just to put it out there and assist people who are in that sort of a situation, to put them back on track again, so that they can take charge of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
because
developed the RISE program during the pandemic?
yes, yes.
Wow.
Based on
Awesome.
my personal experience and how
Mhm.
I rose back from the pains itself. Yeah, so
Yeah.
bring myself up. Yeah, I think people need to be able to take charge of their life.
Definitely.
Otherwise, yeah, when you're out of control, like everything else, we are out of control. It's quite painful.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
very true. But anybody who is looking to rise, you know who to look for now. Go and look for Jeffrey. And you
yeah.
said that the program is public, right? It's a public program, yes?
Yeah, it's a public program which I run every month. Normally, it's at the end of the month, the
Mm,
last week of the month.
awesome.
It's on 2 weekend. Sorry, it's on one weekend.
Okay.
Uh, an 8-hour program split into 2 days.
All right. Awesome.
Right. So yeah, more
Cool.
details can just connect with Mila and ask me.
Definitely. Cool.
Right.
Right. I want to go into the more
Mm.
interesting part about who you are and what's made you who you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go
Tell us a
there.
bit about your upbringing and what things were like when you were in school.
What things were like. I am from Taiping,
Ah,
Perak.
okay.
Taiping, Perak. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I was studying there for wow, sampai standard two. I was
Okay.
there studying in St. George Institution, St. George, Sekolah Kebangsaan St. George,
Uh-huh.
until step two. And then my dad got transferred. My dad is a teacher. He got transferred to Greek, yeah, Greek up north. And I went there with him, yeah. And one other brother and myself, we went there with him.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, until standard four, before we moved to KL, yeah.
Ah,
So So, that's a little bit of my primary school journey. So that's from typing to Greek to KL. Yeah.
and then after that, you were in KL all the while.
Yes, but stuck in KL until today. Yeah.
What were your friends like? What kind of friends did you hang around with? Did you only stick to your Chinese friends? Were you comfortable mingling around, mixing around with the other friends from other races as well? What was it like for you growing up at school?
I think wow, I had all sorts of different people in my life. Especially when it was in typing, the school St. George had mainly Chinese. Yeah,
Mm,
Malays, not so much. Yeah, but when I moved to Greek, majority of the people there were Malays as well as Orang Asli, and also a lot of Chinese lah. Yeah. uh, However, because I don't speak Mandarin, right? I don't speak
you
Mandarin.
you don't speak Mandarin, okay?
Shh,
Oh,
don't say that. Yeah, I don't speak I don't speak Mandarin. So
okay,
naturally, my group of friends were the Malay boys, the Orang Asli, and also because growing up in Taiping itself, uh, my brothers and myself, we spoke a lot of Malay. We had a
okay.
lot of Malay friends as well. Yeah, and that's how I actually speak a lot of Malay. I had a lot of Malay friends. Yeah.
So how did you develop your English?
How did I develop? Oh, okay. How I developed my English would probably make English teachers cringe because
Okay,
I
that's
read
the one
I
I want
read
to hear.
okay,
So you
I
make
read
English
a lot of
teachers cringe. I want to hear it. Okay.
okay. My English came about because my dad loved Marvel comics. He,
Wow.
yeah, he used to buy all these Marvel comics when I was like what 6, 7 years old, and every week he would just go and collect the new editions and whatnot. So, and I started reading them. It was interesting, and I wanted to know what was happening, and
Mhm.
because of that, I started to learn how to speak the language. Yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't know what was happening.
Mhm.
And a lot of the words, the big words that I didn't know how to pronounce, I actually uh, just forced my way through lah.
Boom. Yeah. That's it.
Expressions, yeah, stuff like that. I just forced my way through, and I
Yeah.
picked up, corrected myself, and because of comics, that's how my English improved. Yeah.
Wow. My dad learned English in a similar way.
Oh
He had
yeah.
comics, yeah, he had all these DC comics. I remember boxes and boxes of it. And one of the ways that he picked up the language was also from comics. This is amazing. So, yes, to everyone
Yeah.
who's watching, learning English is not always about textbooks or going to classes. It can be through reading things that you love, including English comics.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
I think
Who did you practice
the
speaking with, though,
comics.
as you were growing up? Sorry, sorry. Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying like comics are less boring than the school books actually.
Yeah, that's true. That's yeah, and probably that's why a lot of people are able to learn more and better and absorb more from comics because
Yeah.
it's there's a fun element, but at the same time you're learning the language, so it's not so boring. Yeah, you're right. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do share with everybody when you were in school. You did in Malay we say tuang. You did skip your, was it a Chinese class or was it your moral class? Which class did you skip because you found it
Uh,
to be boring?
well, I didn't skip class. I was pretty good student because my mom and dad were teachers in the same
Yes,
school.
okay, yeah,
So skipping class was not an option for me.
okay,
But I don't know whether they have it nowadays. But during those days, we had bahasa ibunda.
yeah, yeah.
Do we still have it now?
Well, I wouldn't say maybe not mainstream, but the classes are still there as options. You can take like
Oh, okay.
Mandarin, you can take, yeah, the option
All
is
right.
there. Mm.
So last time we used to have a period called bahasa ibunda, and
Uh-huh.
so all the Chinese will go to the Mandarin class, the
Okay.
Malays will go for agama class, and then the Indians will go to Tamil class, and then there is also catechism, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So these were the four main classes. So my very first day, that was in standard one. I first day in the Mandarin class. I went in
Mm-hmm.
first day Mandarin class. I was listening to the teacher. First 5 minutes, I was like, I was just
Oh
like
dear
doing
goodness.
that. Yeah, that was standard one, all right.
Yeah.
So I went back and I told my dad. I said, Dad, um, I don't want to study Mandarin. And he says, why? Because I always fall asleep. I cannot keep myself awake in that class. Then he says, okay, so what? You want to go Tamil class? Or he said, no. Then he said, okay, but we had to attend one of those
Yeah,
classes.
correct. Yeah.
We can't sit down idly. So then my dad, he said, why don't you go join the Agama class? Join Agama class. So you at least, you have an option to learn about the religion. Yeah. And my dad was pretty open about that. Learn about the religion, and then you
Mm.
choose. You choose as you grow
Wow.
up. You will choose. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. So naturally, I went to a grammar class after that, and I've been there since. I started in standard four. I think started standard four up to standard six. I was in agama class.
How has that helped you though, Jeffrey? The knowledge that you have, the insight that you have, how has that helped you growing up and even in your career for that matter? Yeah.
Ah, well, um, number one, I think I had one of the best ustad, ustads teaching the agama
Wow,
class.
you can still remember his name. Awesome.
I can't remember his name. So bad of me. I wish I could remember his name.
Okay.
I remember that he was really a very nice ustaz. When I say
Mm.
nice, was that he made me feel welcome because I was the only Chinese in the class, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was the only Chinese in the class, and he made me feel very welcome. And
Nice.
agama class, every Friday, we also learn how to do the prayers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And he actually would invite me to join in.
Ah,
Yeah, invited me to join in. And a lot of my Malay classmates were kind of like, tapi Ustaz dia bukan Islam,
yeah.
right? So then Ustaz said, dia bukan Islam, dia bukan orang.
He's got a point.
Ya, dia boleh belajar tak? Ni saudara kita boleh tak dia belajar? Bukan saudara kita. So that's how I started joining in, and I understood the religion. And how has that helped me? It has actually given me a very open mind with regards to religion.
Mm.
Yeah, because dulu-dulu, I think during the 70s, there was a lot of fear mongering going around.
Yeah,
Religion is bad, that is bad,
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But to me, as I understood it,
Mm.
when you understand something, it's not that bad. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad. People say it, it's
Yeah,
just because you don't understand it. So yeah,
correct.
yeah. So
That's great.
that helped me a lot.
That's
So
great.
I understand, and especially as I came into working life, and Fridays, Muslim workers need to go for
Mm.
prayers and all that.
Yeah.
I I would be able to say, okay, fine, go ahead. Tapi some people might say, tak boleh, dia kerja, time kerja. I say, ini sembahyang Jumaat lah, kenapa tak boleh? Right?
Yeah.
It's a different thing, right? So I actually was more lenient with that. And
That's
because of
amazing.
that, yeah, and because of that, we grew to respect each other because of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing for me.
That's what it's about. You're right. Learning other religion or knowing about other religion is really about keeping our minds open, understanding what's going on or where they come from really. And so we find a way to have that middle ground to compromise. Yeah. So
Yeah,
and it's knowledge. Knowledge is wealth, and there's always nothing wrong with knowledge. Really great advice from your dad and from the ustad. I think it was
right.
also an eye opener for you. That was
Oh
really great
yeah,
advice from your
yeah,
dad and also from your ustad. And I
yes,
believe what your ustad said also became like an eye opener to the others that, yeah, he's a fellow brother. Why can't he learn? You know?
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's really
So,
great. Okay, we're
so
gonna hit the comments
hmm,
real quick. Yeah, we've got some that
okay,
just came
sure.
in. From Hamiza, she's my mother-in-law. She says, "Hi everyone, hi ma."
Oh,
All right, and
hi.
we've got Azliana. Yeah, Azliana who says, hi Azliana. Thank you for joining us. So we've got a quick question before we go to the next part. Yeah, do you have any scary stories from your jungle trekking days?
Oh
Yeah, share
yes,
that with
yes,
us.
yes. Are we allowed to share that scary story?
Yeah, let's go one scary but not nightmarish story. Nothing that'll give people
Scary.
a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Oh, okay. One of the scary stories was this. It was in Gunung Tahan,
Okay.
and Gunung Tahan. As we entered Gunung Tahan, my very first trip there, we entered. Uh, our group. How to say? Uh, Ketua rombongan lah eh. Uh,
Ahaha.
he asked one of the boys to baca dulu.
Okay.
To baca, minta izin sebelum kita masuk lah.
Right, right.
Sebelum
As
masuk.
permission. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I was quite how to say amazed at the whole process because okay, there is that respect. Yeah, he
Mm.
says
Mhm.
kita orang luar, ini
Yeah.
hutan kawasan dia, so minta izin and all that kind of stuff. Baca dulu
Yeah.
for a safe trip, and then we went in. Fine. I think on the fifth or sixth day,
Uh-huh.
uh, it it was already we were climbing up this one particular place, and it was already about six p.m. It was quite
Okay.
dark, and only my buddy and I were the
Oh.
last one in. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so the rest have already arrived and then pitched their tents. So
Okay.
we went into this campsite, and then this campsite everywhere was filled up except for this one nice patch of green, nicely cut grass.
Okay.
Yeah, on that whole slope, everything was macam tandus tau, except for that one patch nicely laid grass. And I was like so touched. Wow, dia orang ni baik lah. See, they left us a nice patch to
Okay.
pitch our tent. So
Right.
we went straight there to pitch our tent. The guide came running to us. Bang, jangan letak sana.
Okay. So you're not supposed to put it there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, why can't we put it there? He said, don't put it there. You listen to me. I will tell you tomorrow.
Oh dear.
So
Okay. Let's not go there.
yeah,
Let's
so
not go
that's
there.
kind of like, oh, okay, we kind of knew.
All
So
right.
I
All right.
pitched my tent right at the edge of all the other tents, and it was also
Oh
a little bit
gosh.
scary. Yeah.
So anybody who wants to know more about that story, you get in touch with Jeffrey and let Jeffrey tell you the story that the
Yeah.
guy told him the day after. We're not gonna do that now. I don't want to scare anybody. Okay,
Okay.
awesome. Right, we've got another comment by Nesric Eddie saying that from Mandarin to Agama class astonishing. Yeah, and we've got a surprise for everyone at the end of the show about related to the agama class, but we're gonna keep that till the end. So Jeffrey, we're gonna go to the
Yes.
next question. Yeah.
Okay.
How many? So basically, from my understanding, you can speak English, Bahasa Melayu, and also Chinese lah, but not Mandarin. You can speak
Not Mandarin.
Chinese,
Yeah.
but
Chinese,
Chinese.
the dialects like
That
Cantonese
yes, dialects.
and
So how has
Hainanese.
that helped you? How has that helped you? How has that been? How has it influenced how you grew up and also how you work now? Being able to understand three different languages and the multiple dialects of each language, especially BM and Chinese. How has that helped?
Wow. I think it has eased a lot of my relating with people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And especially while I was working in the cleaning lines and all that, a lot of different peoples, and it became very easy to connect with them. And
Yeah.
especially, we're salespeople. We go in, we see the HOD. We are always speaking English, selling in
Mm-hmm.
English. But when I get to go down to train the people on how to use the machines and all that, and even the chemicals, I couldn't be speaking in English. I couldn't.
Mm.
Oh, hey, this is how you do it. Then they all will be tenganga, benda kau cakap ni.
Yeah,
But
they cannot. Yeah, they cannot understand.
exactly, and my very first boss was from Singapore, so he speaks
Mm-hmm.
English only. He doesn't speak
Mm-hmm.
Bahasa. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like his oh, okay, right hand man, because this guy can speak Bahasa. So
Right.
I like a translator, and what I realized was when I started training in Bahasa and all the staff, the housekeeping staff, they can relate to me and they can
Mm.
understand what I'm saying, and
Mm-hmm.
especially I don't speak bahasa like like dengan ijazah tinggi. I speak bahasa pasar. So that means
Language, common bahasa that they can
yeah, the
relate to.
common bahasa, right? So
Mm.
we understand each other, and we became very close friends. Even up to today,
Wow.
a lot of them have become our HODs in their hotels and all that. So that actually connected me with them and opened a lot of doors for me in terms of the sales, because they kind of like this budak Cina ni yang cakap bahasa tu.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
kind of got kind of like was very friendly with me, and a lot of other salespeople couldn't speak bahasa that well.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, they lost my game.
yeah. So
Yeah,
has anybody ever confused you, whether you confused you for being a Chinese or a Malay? Because you speak both
all the time,
languages very well.
all the time. Yeah, in fact, when I was working in the cleaning line, during our break times, a lot of the makcik are always offering me, kenapa kau ni pandai cakap bahasa Melayu. Apa kata makcik ada anak kau datang kahwin je. Tapi sebelum tu makcik potong dulu. Bila ada pisah, I'm like, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's great. That's really, really great. I love, you know what I love about what you're saying is that, um, which is why we're talking about how language unites, yeah? Being able
mm,
to speak multiple languages, being able to understand many different languages, it really helps us connect. I like what you said, that it helps you
yeah,
connect with the people that you are dealing with. So if it's the HOD, then that's English. But if it's the
yeah,
contractors, then it's got to be Bahasa or Chinese or whatever language that they can understand, so that you can relate to them, and then they'll be more open. And the class and the training will be more fun and exciting, and there's more interaction. So
yeah,
it's great to know more than one language. It really unites and connects us with people on so many different levels.
right. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
How
it
okay.
helps me a
Mhm.
lot. Yeah, it helps me and it helps them. Yeah. So it was a good thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you, as it stands now, we're already in the 21st century, right?
Mhm.
But there still seems to be some form of divide, I would say. Like
Yes.
there will be a group of people who are just speaking Malay, and then there's a group of people who are just speaking Chinese in whatever dialects. Then there's another group of youngsters who are coming up with learning English. What would you say to them, or what would you tell them about knowing and learning more languages, so that we can come together as Malaysians? What would you say to them?
Wow. Wow. I think learning an extra language is always an advantage. Yeah, it's
Mm.
always an advantage, not only in terms of career wise, but it also allows you. It allowed me to work uh, so how to say, effortlessly with everybody
Mm.
else, right? It really became very effortless, and I mean, it's a very simple thing. For example, when I go and buy nasi lemak,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When I go and buy nasi lemak, and then when the pachi takes the nasi from me, and then he keeps on looking at me and takes on when I order stuff, and he keeps on looking at me, and he says, "Dek, dek fasih cakap bahasa eh." Yeah, and because of that, I realized that, and he feels kind of like macam kita dah macam dah kawan lama.
Yeah,
So,
like your friends. You've been friends all this while. Yes.
and I realize the advantage for me is that sometimes I get extra food, extra this, extra that. I get special treatment
Nice.
as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's
Amazing.
people feel comfortable.
Yes,
So
that's good.
learning an extra language, oh wow, it really opens up your doors a lot
I love
more.
that.
Yeah,
I love that. I love how you say that it opens up a lot of doors. Yeah, it makes people feel comfortable with us. We can relate to more different people from different walks of life, and it's
yeah,
really harmless. Yeah, to know it's harmless as a Malay to know Chinese, as a Chinese to know Bahasa, as Malaysians to know English language. It's for everybody to learn, to embrace, and to can use as a tool to connect and yeah, to be united.
exactly. Yeah,
Amazing stuff. Okay, I'm
I,
gonna hit
I
the comments real quick, Jeff. Yeah.
all right.
Okay. So we've got a comment by I think this is Marissa. Hi Marissa. She says hello to everyone. Hello Jeff. Hi
Hi,
Marissa.
Marissa.
And then Hamiza, my mother-in-law, says being able to speak multiple languages has never failed in my relationship with others. Yes, and Nyonya Makcik Melayu. Yeah,
Ah,
my mother-in-law speaks English and Malay very, very fluently, very, very well. And yeah, I can. Well, of course, I know her. She's a mother-in-law, and she has achieved a lot of things because of her ability to speak in both languages. Awesome.
nice.
Marissa says that I can speak Cantonese, and it's always been an asset. Whoa! Never knew that about Marissa. Now we
Yeah,
know that she can speak Cantonese as well.
it always is.
Awesome.
Like I said, any additional language you speak,
Yeah.
even like for me, when I pass the security guards, nowadays we have a lot of Nepali the security
Mm-hmm.
guards,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever I would pass them, I would greet them namaste and all that stuff. They actually are more, oh, this guy speaks my language, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you you are more welcomed into their life, into
That's
their
true.
space. Yeah,
Space.
so
Yes, that's true.
yeah, with any language, I think it really warms people to you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a like again, it's language connects, it can unite.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
And Hamisa continues to say very true. Yeah, very true that languages open knowing more than one language opens up more doors. That is
Yeah.
very, very true. That's
That's correct.
amazing. That's amazing. So for my viewers out there who are watching, whether you're watching it live or you're gonna watch the replay after this, um, if you only know one language, especially now, again, we are in the 21st century where we know that English is a very important language and Mandarin is coming up. Mandarin is catching up really, really fast. If you only know one language, stand up for yourself and start making a change. Start embracing other languages because you never know who you would meet, who you would be able to connect with, who you'll be able to relate to. And it comes as an asset. I like what Marissa said. It's an asset. it's
Yes, it
it's
is.
it will
Yeah.
be useful for wherever and whenever, so it will always become an asset that we have.
Yeah.
Amazing
Exactly.
stuff.
I always felt at an advantage. I always
Mm,
felt that I had that advantage because being Chinese, I don't only speak the dialects. I speak English, but I also speak Malay. And a lot of
mm-hmm.
my Malay friends are limited to only Bahasa. And I say, hey,
Yes.
if you're limited to Bahasa, then you're stuck. You know, I have that
Mm-hmm.
advantage, and a lot of them they know how to speak English. However, they're afraid to speak it because my English tak baik, tak
Yeah.
tipu sangat.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't start off with my Bahasa being so great anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah, if you want to look at academically, my Bahasa I got a P7.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
which is just a pass, right? I don't know how to structure it properly, but I can speak it fluently. So, and it's been
But that's
helpful.
what's more important, right? Like when we, especially when we get into the working world and we're meeting with people, we don't write our order. Like you said, when you go and buy nasi lemak, we don't write the order. Abang, saya nak nasi lemak 3 bungkus. We don't
Yeah,
write it down, but
exactly.
we say it. So yeah, we all have to start. I love that. My God, Jeffrey, I love that. We need to start somewhere. And we
Yeah,
normally start with mistakes. We start with it sounding a bit awkward or a bit weird, but as we practice, as we continue speaking, then it becomes, like you said, more fluent. It becomes smooth. And
yeah,
I believe it's the same. Like for you, it was Bahasa, and I guess for a lot of us, it's English. So whether it's Malay or English or Chinese, Japanese,
yeah,
Arabic, any language, it takes time, and we
yeah.
have to give ourselves that space to make mistakes, give ourselves that
Agree.
space to learn,
Yeah,
really. Yeah,
yeah.
give us that time to learn. Yeah, I love that.
I used to fumble with my words. I used to trying to impress this pachi. I used to once upon a time I also worked as a nelayan. Okay, in
Oh,
Magandatu, and
uh-huh,
this
uh-huh.
the taikong he invited me to his house, and and Machi came out with, oh my god, pengat pisang. It's like bubo pisang. Sorry,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came out with bubo pisang, and I loved that. Right, so I fumbled with my words when she was asking me, am I hungry or not? Do you want to eat? Instead of saying yes, I'm hungry, I said, yeah, 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 saya kenyang.
So did you get your
then,
pengat
then
or
my,
not? Did you get it?
yeah,
Did you?
I got it because Pakcik looked at me. Kau kenyang ke kau lapar?
Oh, so he clarified whether you were hungry or you're actually full.
Yeah, but I messed up with my language. Yeah, but that's where I learned as well, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
exact. Oh my God, exactly. Yes,
yeah,
you learned from that mistake. Oh, I love that, Jeffrey. If you didn't
yeah,
make that mistake, if you didn't accidentally say full, hungry as full, no
yeah.
one would have been able to correct you, and you wouldn't have known that kenyang
I would
is
have gone
full,
hungry.
hungry is lapar. You
Yeah,
would not have known if you didn't make that mistake. Oh, awesome.
yeah,
I awesome. Again, I hope people who are watching this, I hope you realize that you need, just sometimes in life you need to make that mistake in order to get it right.
yes,
We cannot wait to get it right before we use it or before we say it. We have to say it, we've got to use it, make a mistake, and then learn from that mistake.
exactly. And it is also very much with what I teach as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I coach people as well. Hey, you can't always get it perfect before you want to start doing something, right? You just got to
Yeah.
start doing it first, and
Yeah.
then perfect it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's how it should be. So don't be afraid to make that mistake. Yeah, don't be
That's
afraid.
true. That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah. Just a quick another comment from Hamiza saying that's the problem. No confidence to speak in English. Yeah, but language needs to be nurtured. And you need to learn the language. Yes, and in nurturing, we need to make mistakes. That's how it's nurtured. That's how it develops. Not by waiting for it to be perfect before we take it to the next step. Really
yeah.
amazing. So thank you so much for that, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's do something interesting. I want to tap on the fact that you requested from your dad to not go for Mandarin, but instead go for Agama.
Right.
And you can read Jawi, yes?
Yes, better than I can read Mandarin.
Okay, so Jeffrey, come on, show off a little bit. Okay, let's
Oh wow.
see how you read Jawi. So we're gonna have a few minutes of let's read Jawi with Jeffrey. Okay, so
Wow.
let's do this.
If
Can you
it's a little
read
bit
for us?
rusty, please excuse me if it gets a little bit rusty, yeah?
No worries. I'm here to help. No worries. And if
Okay.
for everyone else who's watching, so I'm so excited that I'm pumping. For everyone else who's watching, let's give Jeffrey some love. He's going to read Jawi. Let's see how much he still remembers. Okay, take it away, Jeffrey.
Okay. Ini guru.
Yep.
Ini guru saya. Nama guru saya. Okay, this one is a bit tricky for me. Liza, eh? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Lam Ya Li Zai Alif Za Liza. Correct. Nama guru saya
Liza.
Liza.
Nama
Awesome.
guru saya
Awesome.
Liza. Okay. Guru saya ada baju baru. Baju baru guru saya warna bayaro biru.
Wow! Not bad. That was not rusty. That was
This
not
this is
rusty.
the
That
one.
was well oiled. Sorry?
This is, I think this is the simpler ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
the shin and all that come out, that's the tricky ones.
yeah, yeah. When was the last time you read any Jawi?
Oh wow! I think the last time, well, actually, it would have been in primary school, but every
Ooh, that's
time,
a long time ago.
hey, that's a long time ago. But every now and then, whenever I see Jawi writing anywhere, I do, try to read it.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay.
And I go to my whenever I visit my friend Hassan in Kampung Frim,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
on the road signs jalan apa-apa, and
it's in
every
Jawi.
road sign at the bottom
Uh-uh.
there is a scripture, right? Like
Yes,
Assalamualaikum and stuff like that.
yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm-hmm.
how to read that. I
Uh-huh.
know how to read that. So it's like, oh wow, I'm kind of like reconnecting myself with, yeah. And they have the
Awesome.
whole all on their road signs. That's so wonderful. Same thing with Malacca.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the Jawi scripture underneath the
Yes.
Rumi, the
Yes.
Malay name. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You've got some fans. So now, Hamiza's envious. She says, "Well, these I envy," and then she says, "Awesome." And
Thank you. Thank
Aziana
you.
also says, "Awesome." That's indeed really, really awesome. Wow.
Thank you. Wow.
Language unites. How true is that? Language
Yes.
unites. Jeffrey, your final words for your followers, the viewers today, about how important language is and how it has helped you. How can language bring us together, Jeffrey? Malay, English, Chinese. Your last words of advice and wisdom for them.
Wow. I think I don't know if I shared with you even in my house, my home, my brothers and sisters, my siblings, even with my dad. We used to speak Malay in the house, right? It's a very natural go-to for us. We will speak in
Right.
English and then tiba-tiba kita cakap bahasa, you know.
Suddenly you just switch.
Yeah, we just switch. And in fact,
Awesome.
with a lot of my Chinese friends, we also speak in bahasa, right?
Nice.
Now, what I notice is this: the moment you are comfortable with the language or with any language for that matter, are okay. I'm going to speak for me. Yeah, I naturally get connected with Malays or with any other people or whatever language they speak. I naturally
Mm-hmm.
connect with them, and because of that, we respect each other.
I love that.
Yeah, and it becomes we become empathetic with each other.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, I think that's when you don't understand the language, you kind of like, these people are so rough. Why they speak like that, like that, but I realize that it has helped me, and it has helped especially when I do trainings, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I do trainings, sometimes you get like factory workers are being put into trainings, and they are sitting there, they are so worried that this
Mm-hmm.
tok guru or pak guru kat depan tu will speak in England,
English,
aku
yeah.
tak faham apa benda kau cakap.
Yeah, then they're scared they cannot understand.
Yeah, and when I speak, when I speak bahasa, the local bahasa with them, they warm up very quickly. And
Awesome.
because they do that, what happens is they are more open and more receptive to me, and
Mm-hmm.
they begin to learn.
Yeah.
They
Amazing.
actually absorb a lot better. And the other thing that has been helpful, especially for my agama class, was actually respecting the prayer times.
I love that. It
So if
creates
we have,
understanding, like you said. Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of like, some participants, they're kind of sheepish. They tahu nak pergi waktu sembahyang and all that, tapi they dare not say because you are the trainer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they keep on watching. So I'm very conscious, and I tell them, yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry. I pun ada app solat. I
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
I do
oh,
have
that's good. Wow.
because
Wow.
we go to different states, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
solar times is different.
Different. Yes.
Yeah, so I got this great app, Waktu Solat Malaysia.
Wow.
So I will always check for, just so that I get the times right.
That's a
Yeah.
very high level of understanding and compassion and empathy that you've developed, Jeffrey.
Yeah, because, well, to me, I have also been taught that, you know what, always respect the religious practices.
Hmm.
So I do make sure that they respect it themselves. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
yeah, just because I know, I'm like, hey, ini macam amanat untuk saya lah. I
yeah,
need to tell
yeah.
you that,
Yeah.
hey guys, you know, your prayer time, make sure you have, and I'm able to work out sufficient makan time for them and go for solat and
Correct.
come. Yeah,
I'm
so
sure
that
they
helps.
appreciate it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm sure they
I
do.
yeah. So that helps. That helps us. Understanding each other just warms
Yeah,
people up. Yeah.
yeah, that's so
So
true.
you're right. Language does unite. And for the longest time, I've not heard this word, muhibah. Yeah. We used to be taught about muhibah in school,
We
and
did. We were
I love that one word, muhibah. That has been something that I carry with me all this while.
amazing. It
Yeah.
shows from how you talk about it and what you do, it really shows. So to
Yeah.
everyone out there, okay, everyone out there, if you want to connect with more people, if you want to be more relatable to the people around you, um, you want to keep an open mind and open heart and be and deal with others with compassion and empathy, take up another language, understand the language, understand the not to say when you understand the language you also get the chance to understand the culture, and that will open up like Jeffrey said, this huge space to understand and to accept where other people are coming from as well, and it will just create
Right.
a really really an infinite empathetic skill in us
Yes.
towards other people. That's really valuable, really amazing.
I would say doing that opens our hearts to people.
That
It,
it
it, it
does.
really does. It really does. Yeah, and it's wonderful.
It is.
Wonderful.
Really
Yeah.
is. We're gonna quickly hit the
Yeah.
comments just before we end
Okay.
tonight's show. We're almost towards the end. So KZ Tan says hello,
Hi,
Iman and Jeffrey.
Casey.
Hello KZ, thank you for joining us. Okay, so yeah, Makcik potong dulu, but that didn't happen. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not find
yeah.
out. No, not in this show. We're not gonna find out if it actually happened. So Hamisa says same here. Yep, yep. The
Oh,
language,
thank you, thank
knowing
you.
more languages really helps us have more empathy,
Yes,
more compassion for the people around us. Helps us relate better to other people as well. And finally, last comment here, Nesri Ellie says, "I adore the Cantonese language. I grew up with it. My mom is fluent with it. Too bad I can only understand several words, not the entire language. But I guess even understanding helps. Sometimes
yes,
we may not be able to speak the language, but when we understand, it still opens up a lot of opportunities and doors
yeah.
for us, right?
The
Yeah.
other thing is, people
Mhm.
always think that we need to be able to speak perfectly, yeah, but we
We
don't.
do.
Yeah, the most important thing is that we attempt it, we try it, and
Yes,
you know what? People will help us along the way.
that's true. Oh, that's so true.
Along the way, yeah. And people, we all started from somewhere.
That's true.
Yeah, just like
I
my
love it.
past was never this way. I mean, I almost failed, but hey.
And yet here you are today, able to connect with all your participants, your
Yeah,
connections,
yeah,
in whatever language you need to. If it's English, it's English. If it's Chinese, it's Chinese. If it's Malay,
yeah,
it's Malay. So you
yeah,
can really just switch whenever you need to, and that is really awesome.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Thank
I
you
can.
so much, Jeffrey. Sorry?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I could also run the whole training session in Bahasa as well. Yeah,
Um,
and one
So
time I had a
anybody who wants to go through Rise, if you want to rise up and you want a program completely in Bahasa, you know who to find. Find Jeffrey Tan, the Pathfinder.
jangan
Okay.
risau. How do you say Pathfinder in Bahasa anyway? I couldn't find the actual word for it, exact
Pencari
word.
jalan. That sounds weird though. Pencari jalan,
Wow.
penemu jalan. I might have
Yeah,
to put a bit more thought into this. Or if
Love it.
anyone of you out there, if you can find a Malay word for Pathfinder, you can still comment at the link on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, and then I can
Yeah,
just share it
yeah,
with Jeffrey. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to open this up to my viewers. What's Pathfinder in Bahasa? Anybody who can just give me and Jeffrey some insight, put it in the comment. Even if it's after this live is over, we will still be able to read it. Awesome.
yeah. Yes, yeah.
Jeffrey, it's such a pleasure having you, Jeffrey. Thank you
Thank
so
you. My
much for
pleasure.
everything that you've shared. Thank you for your semangat, yeah, for your spirit, for your wisdom. And again, to my viewers, if you want to have more compassion for the people around you, if you want to be more relatable with the people around you, stand up for yourself and learn another language.
Yeah.
With that,
Yes.
yep, yes. Last words,
Thank you
Jeffrey.
so much.
You're
Thank you
most
so
welcome.
much, Iman,
My pleasure
for
to
the
have you.
opportunity. And wow, you know what? We're Malaysians first.
Oh, I don't have a shirt that has the Malaysia flag. I should have tried to look more. I love
Yeah.
that.
Always
Awesome.
remember we are Malaysians first. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So when I go to Hong Kong, they call me Malay Chai also
What's that,
without
Malaysia?
Melayu. When you go
Oh,
to Hong Kong, they'll
even in
call
Hong
you.
Kong,
Yeah,
you
because
bring it everywhere, don't you?
they don't recognize us as Chinese. They recognize us as Malay Chai, Malaysians.
Oh, see. Oh, I
So
see.
in Hong Kong, they recognize us as Malaysians, but in Malaysia, kau Cina, kau Melayu, kau India.
See, even people abroad, they look at us as one. So we need to
Yes,
start being one. We need to start being
exactly.
that and embody that oneness, that togetherness, that semangat mukibah. We really need to start
Yes,
doing that.
agreed. Yes, totally. Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
again so much,
Thank
Jeffrey.
you.
To all of my viewers, thank you so much. I hope you had fun. I hope you gained some insight and some words of encouragement from Jeffrey. Until I see you again in the next episode, everybody have a good evening and keep safe. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.